So this Q&A is only about vehicles and driver's license. If you ask any other question, you automatically get banned. No, just kidding. We're just not going to answer them. But you feel free to send us an email after or whatever. If you got other pressing matters, 2 weeks from today is our general live Q&A.
Okay.
We are making a little change. Like I said, we are going to talk about our sister company, Panama Expat Service. Oscar, introduce yourselves and tell them what we do for that company.
Well, ladies first.
Yeah. So I'm Megan. You guys mostly know us as Retire in Panama, but we have our sister company, Panama Expat Service, that provides services for expats who maybe didn't do our tour but have moved here and need assistance with car purchase, driver's license, both of which we'll be talking about tonight, and some other, assistant jobs, translation, interpretation, and pet relocation services that you need once you move here as an expat.
Yeah, so a lot of the things we do is basically to facilitate that transition, to make it smooth, to make it very easy and also trustworthy, because like Megan said, some of you might not want to do a tour, or they just wanted to do things on your own, but still wanted to get through reliable contacts, reliable people that can get you through it, to get down simple things like how to bring your pets, how to get a vehicle, how to get even hooked up the cable account, get a cell phone. I don't know, simple things that can be a little tricky for some of you. So tonight we're gonna talk about all these main details. Our main topic is gonna be car purchasing. We're gonna talk about drive license. My name is Oscar Peña, so I'll introduce first. And I am one of the owners of the company, also with Retire in Panama. And so, yeah, we're gonna get for the next hour talking about those things and give you answers. And for those, this video will be recorded. So any extra information will be more than happy to answer.
So Oscar's going to start for about a 15-minute presentation on car purchases. Please hold your questions until the end, then we'll open up the Q&A for those questions. You can type your questions in the chat at that time, or if some of you would prefer, you can raise your hand and we can talk to you. So Oscar, take it away, purchasing a car in Panama.
All right, so how to purchase a vehicle in Panama. This is one of the main needs a lot of the expats need to when they move to relocate here in the country. And one of the things is where to find a vehicle. You can find a vehicle anywhere. However, one of the main locations that you have more inventory, and put it that way, or more amount of vehicles, will be like what we suggest to do it mostly in main cities. We personally would rather to get vehicles dealerships. There is many different kinds of dealerships. If you're buying brand new, well, that's the easiest way to get a vehicle. That's the best way and easier, because you get it brand new, you get a guarantee from the dealership, and you have all the process. It takes a little extra time, but it is totally worth it if it's under the budget. Also, where is the best vehicle make to buy in Panama? Well, brands here, we like to always suggest to get anything that is American brands or Japanese, Korean brands, such as Toyota, Subaru, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, Suzuki, or Ford, Dodge, Jeep.
We have all of the major
We have
brands.
all the majors here. We have all kinds of brands here. What I mean is the best brands is because when it comes to service, when it comes to get parts fast, and also best price to get it. Because sometimes even in some brand, let's see some cars like the Hyundai. I always make this joke like you can find a brake pads in a grocery store. They're very commercial vehicles. So some cars are very easy to find parts than others. Other vehicles like a more high, how do I say, high end,
Mhm.
less such as like probably a Ford Explorer. You can still find those parts here in Panama. Sometimes, maybe if it's in a specific model of Ford, you can still bring it from the States, but it's still very easy. All the Ford dealerships here, in my opinion, has a lot of good inventory for that brand. What else?
Luxury cars, like what about BMWs, Jaguars, stuff like that?
Those European cars, they're great vehicles. It's just when it comes to service, when it comes to parts and maintenance, can get a little more complicated and expensive. Also, because I say that because I own a Land Rover, and every time I wanted to get a part, I struggle to get that part. I have to get it shipped sometimes from England, and that is a lot expensive. BMWs is the same thing. Mercedes, Jaguar, like Rod was mentioning. Um, so European cars, they're nice, but they're the most difficult ones to get maintenance and get parts. Easy to buy, hard to sell.
Yeah. What's the mechanic training like here compared to North America? What is it? What do you have to be to put on your wall? I'm a mechanic. What type of schooling do you need?
So, thing that you guys will find out here,
Yeah.
not just in Panama, but also in Latin America, generally speaking, is that a lot of people are empiric. So they have learned through generations of mechanics, or they just jump into a car, they start figure things out. That's how I do it. Some other people have been trained. They go to school, or they just got trained, hired by these dealerships, like the Toyota dealerships. So a lot of people work for years, and then in some point they decide to open their own shop. But there is no like a specific degree here for mechanics.
Yeah.
But that's why also the labor, it is a lot less expensive than North America. But you can get what is say? They don't charge here by the hour. They just charge here by the job. So if they say, okay, we're gonna change the whole front end, they don't say, oh, it's gonna take 14 hours. They're gonna say it's gonna take half day or the day, so it's X amount of money, and it's a lot less expensive than North America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I Best Buy is that other brands. What other brands do you think is?
I think the biggest point is that we have a lot of the same brands. It's just that the makes of cars are different
Yes.
that are offered here.
Yeah, the makes are very different here. One of the things is U.S. vehicles versus Latin American version are totally different when it comes to the sensors. There is a different models. So here, let's say a model of the Hyundai Tucson, the 2022 Latin American version, is a lot different than the 2022 North American version. It comes with whole different system of sensors, doesn't have the same safety, the same regulations of gas emissions. Therefore, here's a lot different. When you get the full extras, that's what we call it here, full extras, meaning is the regular North American version. And also that comes with the sensors already designed for the type of gas that we have here in Latin America. Um, Boeing, that's why, what is going to say with that?
Well, I think that like the biggest one that Oscar always comments on is we don't have catalytic converters here in Central America, which makes a huge difference in your entire sensor array and how your computer is designed to, burn fuel. So if you bring down your vehicle and it has a catalytic converter and something goes wrong with it, you're going to have some troubles.
Yeah. So you have to go through some of the sensors every 6 months. I know that because I know people, they have brought cars from North America and they have to go through some sensors every 6 months at least. And they're not affordable.
And they just don't have the trained people to do that. And another example, Toyota in the US, it's called a Tundra, their most popular truck. Here, the same truck is called a Helix.
No.
Close to the same truck.
So in North America, it's called the Tacoma.
Tacoma. I'm sorry, I keep getting that wrong. Yes.
So the Tacoma is here in Latin America, and North America is the Hilux. But here is the Tacoma.
Yeah.
The Tundra is Tundra in North America. Here is Tundra. and it's different versions because the Hilux is diesel. It doesn't exist in North America.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. The Hilux that we have here, usually they come with the engine 3.0. Now they're coming, the new version is 2.9. No, 2.7 diesel with a turbo. Supposedly the most efficient with diesel, but again, because lacking of regulations compared to United States of Canada, that's why it's better. And also that's one of the most commercial brands. Toyota is one of the most commercial brands here in Panama. I have to say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what was the next topic?
We're moving on to
Yeah.
buying privately or through a dealer, finding a dealer. We can talk more about the process.
Yeah, so buying privately or through the dealer, it is always a risk. Like you have to, if you don't know about your mechanics, you have to go through at least to a reliable dealership. There's something you can get a guarantee, someone that you can go to after. Because when you buy privately, if you don't know your mechanics, if you don't know anything about vehicles and also the paperwork, you can end up in some trouble. Meaning, let's say you got a beautiful CRV 2020 that is normal price 28,000 and you got it offered for 24,000. Then you go check out the car and it looks perfect, but you don't know much about it. You just looks perfect, runs everything, great deal, but you don't know that car came from United States. It was a total. It was flooded, which it happens once to me checking a car to a client.
It's stolen. It has
Or it's stolen or has
$1,000 loan on it.
Yep. So there is a lot of tricky parts because here in Panama we don't have anything like a Carfax. That doesn't exist here. So if you have the VIN number, that doesn't mean here. You have to check here in Panama. They check the chassis number with the engine number to see if the car has any issues. So I personally recommend if you can get for a dealer, there is several dealers, not just for brand new vehicles, but also for used vehicles. Unless you have enough experience or you want to hire somebody, a facilitator like ourselves, that you can do either. So this is one of the things that we offer as our Panamax of service is to provide that custom service. You tell us what is the brand you want, what if you're on a 4-wheel drive, 4x2, the year, and then we just make sure either if from private owner, and also if it's from dealership, because no matter what, it has to be checked. Yeah. So that being there, that after saying about the where do you buy the car, very important is to do the test drive and mechanical inspections. So that one is making sure the car it is running perfect, making sure it doesn't have any suspension issues, making sure it is not having funny sounds of the engine, there is no leaks, there is no fixing in the frame of the car. Yes.
Going along with those, what about warranties?
Warranties, most of the cars you do when you have a second hand, if you get from the dealership, you can have a guarantee from the transmission or engine, but no electrical components, no even suspension. So, because it's an unfairness to the seller, if the car can be in a perfect condition, but maybe the joint of the suspension can go off in less than a month. They just happen. That it either happens or doesn't happen. It doesn't happen over. It can sometimes can happen overnight. So dealership is the only one can offer that kind of guarantee on engine and transmission because sometimes some vehicles, some people can swap the transmission and get it it's not so good one, and you don't know how to verify that because that transmission actually doesn't have any number with the chassis of the engine.
So that's the benefit to going through a dealer versus buying from a private seller.
Yeah, you just need to just don't buy a car without getting it inspected. Oscar, since he was 5 years old, has been inside a mechanic garage.
Well, a little bit. So my mom and dad used to have a mechanic garage growing up, but they used to do a lot of suspension. My dad used to have mechanics. I personally never did the engine mechanics, but I do understand a lot to make sure that car has a failure or not. Suspension is my thing. So sometimes when we're driving our cars, I can say, "Do you hear that?" And they're not hearing anything. And maybe it's the shock absorber or the lean or the bushing. Something is off. And I'm always like checking that. That's why our vehicle's trying to be in good shape. Um, so handling the facts about Panama. Another point is about the Carfax system is that we don't have anything like that here. We have basically when you hire somebody, when you have the person that can check, or everything is just in the municipio or with the DIJ. So if you want to make sure the car is not stolen, you have to go with the plate of the number, the plate of the car, the chassis, and go check to the police office. We call it the IJ. That's how you know if the car has any legal issues or if the car has any, like it have swapped the engine or something like that. So only that's works in North America. If the car has been in an accident, there is nowhere you can find it. Sometimes, if it's a total, if it's maybe by the insurance, or if you really look into the body that has been considered damaged and be rebuilt.
Mhm.
So, in those situations, that's very important to have the knowledge or to have someone that can do it for you, someone they understand. And I call it like a, what is it called? In Colombia, malicia indígena. How you say that?
It's kind of like yeah, it's just yeah, knowing how to
It's like a
read
two.
people, but also knowing the mechanics of the car, knowing what to look out for.
How do you know, Oscar, that you're not buying a U.S. car that was either imported and has taxes owing, or that it was rebuilt and shipped here?
That's actually an
What's,
excellent
what's the
question.
biggest tip there?
So that's a big excellent question because how determine if the car is American or not? Well, first of all, the dashboard, the main part of the what they call the speed, it will say miles per hour, not kilometers per hour. Some of the nice vehicles have both, but the primary is the one that is what it's made for.
The big
If
letters,
the
yeah.
big letters, if the big letter says miles per hour, that car was brought from North America. Therefore, if you get that big number, you go in Carfax in North America, it will tell you everything about that car. Like I had a situation with a Nissan Pathfinder, and I was suspicious about that car, and I just checked the number. The car was in a car accident. I found that the car was in a car accident, and it was from Hawaii.
Yeah. The other thing you got to be concerned about is that someone legally brought it here, but they were a pensionado and didn't pay the tax, and now
Mhm.
the tax is going to be owing on it.
Yes, that also
So
too.
you got to take that VIN number and go to customs to see if there's any tax owing on it.
Yeah. However, if the car has been brought and it has already Panamanian plate,
Mhm.
that process is done.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like you not worry about North America.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if the most important is if the car was brought from the United States, what was the condition of that car? You have to double check that because seriously, the car could be stolen and maybe it was a process illegal to registration here in Panama. So that being said, you double check with the VIN number, and if the car has any bad history where it was imported, if it was flooded, was a total, that will show. And here in Panama, we just double check with the municipio or the DIJ, there will be DIJ, the Department of Police, to check if it has everything legal is fine, has everything the paperwork is fine.
Okay, you found the car. How do you pay for this thing?
The easiest way to pay a car here in Panama is if you have either the cash here or to have a Panamanian bank account. Because if you have a US account, you can do it. It just takes a process and you have to make sure your North American bank account has notified or have the international wire service. The process takes about 3 labor days. Sometimes can be more, sometimes can be less. So it depends who you're buying from, it can be convenient or can be definitely a pain.
They have to be patient seller, I guess.
There has to be a patient seller because sometimes people here they want the money now, either the cash or they want the transfer to happen now. Otherwise, they're gonna sell it to somebody else that's ready to buy. People here, when it's about to sell a car, there is no commitment to anybody.
Guys, I'll have to say I know nothing about cars, but Oscar's still the one that buys my cars for me, and will continue to. But I just want to stress with you guys that aren't here yet, that are moving here or just moved here, is make sure you are set up with your U.S. bank to wire money international.
Yes.
Oscar gets that 1 in 5 times with clients. It's not. They think they are. Yes, I can send wire transfers, but to send a wire transfer internationally, you have to fill out money laundering forms. You need to do all this stuff in the States. So that when you come here and you do want the car, you want to transfer the money here, even if you want to transfer to a Panama bank here, you don't have a problem. It doesn't take 3 to 5 days to do. And which happens to a lot of people. So before you leave the U.S., go into your bank saying, hey, I'm going to be spending some time in Panama. I need to wire money there. Can we set this up? And get pre-approved to wire money right from your online banking.
But even if you're committed to really make the move, just make sure you have a Panamanian bank account.
Yeah, well, they got to get the money here too.
Exactly.
Right.
But that is the smoothest, the easiest, and for your own protection is the best because it's Panama bank to Panama bank.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's the safest way to do it.
And it doesn't cost anything.
And doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So inspection.
Yeah, what's a revisado? Keep hearing that word.
The revisado inspection is a document that you have to get in your vehicle every year, and you need to get it in order to get your insurance. And in order to get, after you get that and get your insurance, you need the 2 of those to pay your taxes, or what it used to be in the past, you get your new plate. But Panama, starting this year, they're not renewing plates. The only given is the sticker, which they're quite a bit delayed right now. They're just giving February stickers.
Yeah, I know.
For those in North America that are confused, yes, we used to get a brand new license plate
Every year.
every single year.
Yeah.
I used to collect them like my dad did in the 1950s.
Oh, you go to anywhere in Panama City and the souvenir shops you can buy. You
Yeah.
can buy plates from 1980s.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So that's why it's important the revisado. The funny thing is the revisado means inspection, but that doesn't mean they really inspect your car. What they do is take a picture of your car. Your car might be burning gas and oil, no problem. And that's some of the flaws for the regulations here, but also makes like things fast for some people. Shouldn't be that way, but it's the way it is. So in order to get a revisado, you need to go to a special mechanic garage or super center. They have provide that service. Right now, some people you have to make an appointment, but you go there, pay the fee. Usually it's about $25. $22 was the last time I did it. I think it's 22.
Yeah.
So it takes about 10-15 minutes. They can take photos of the car. They give you a paper with the picture of the car, and you keep the original. When you get the insurance, you have to get a copy to the insurance broker, and then they issue the insurance for you. After that, you can renew the plate or pay the taxes of your vehicle.
Okay, let's go. These people here, most of North America, they know the word DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. What's it like going into the Department of Motor Vehicles, Oscar, to do a title transfer? Do they have an English only line? Like,
so that's one of the trickiest and can be very intimidating process because no one, what we call municipio or the municipal building of each town, and you have to, the car, if it's registered in each town, let's say here in Boquete or Dolega, no one speaks English. So in Dolega, actually, there is only one person.
that's the security guard, Jose.
Yes, Jose.
Okay.
But he's not the guy who's going to do the job for you.
Okay.
So those situations can be to renew the payment is easier, but when you do a transfer title, you need to get the cards of the transfer, You need to get a signature in the right spot because everything is in Spanish. The card or the transfer title, and then you have to go first to the office of the municipio. Then we just go to ATT office to finalize the process, and they give you the brand new title. But everything is in Spanish. So when you're buying a vehicle, you have to go through that process. If you do it with a facilitator, someone that help you assist you to do this process, you don't have to worry about it because someone like us who speaks English and Spanish can make it easier for you. Some of dealerships offer that service as well. They have the facilitator services. Will you have some questions?
Yeah.
Just finish the last point. And
Finish
then we'll
insurance,
get
and
into
then we're going to
questions.
move into questions.
All right.
You guys can hold off any questions. I'm going to transfer these questions over to the Q&A portion, but we'll
No
answer any
worries.
questions on this.
And the last part is buying the right insurance. As a foreigner, highly recommend get maximum liability. There is a story here. The great friend of ours say is you can get a part of the gringo bingo, meaning if you are involved in any accident with a local, just because you're a foreigner, that means, oh, jackpot, I got money here. So you don't want to be in a situation that you just have the basic liability because you're going to be in big trouble and you're going to lose a lot of money. Also, if you, God forbid, you end up in a fatality that is not your fault, but you can also be very liable and go to jail, or you have to pay out of pocket a lot of money. So buying the right insurance is to make sure you have, first of all, the right broker that can assist you. Second, to have the maximum coverage. So if you buy a car that is over 10 years old, it will not cover everything. Like if your car will not be covered. It will be covered the third party. It will be covered the people inside your vehicle, but not your vehicle, unless you get hit by the other vehicle. But if your car is under 10 years old, then maximum liability will cover your vehicle, third party, anybody involved in the accident.
Yeah. Insurance here is very reasonable, guys. What's the Explorer? What year is it? 2016?
The 2016
Yeah.
for the Ford Explorer 2016, I pay maximum liability $550
Yeah.
for a year.
With low deductible. Our van, we have a Ford
Transit.
big giant van at $650. It's
Mhm.
insurance is cheap. Get the maximum deductible. That's all we're trying to tell you guys here. It's
Yeah.
an extra $80 a year
Yes.
to go from 5,000 to 100,000.
Yes.
And you will be good. I think people have a bunch of questions, Oscar. So we're going to switch over to the Q&A portion of this call. And
It's hot tonight here.
Q&A.
Yeah. It's been like that because we've been having a little mini summer.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right.
So if we got questions, put it into the Q&A portion. I just have to. This is
Just
not.
gonna put them in the
There we
Q&A
go.
so we can see them better.
Yeah. Oh,
And then once you click show question list, will they pop up in there?
yeah.
Question it is. Mhm.
Okay. What, can you see it?
You have to click show
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some good questions coming through.
Okay. What is that?
Perfect.
Classic cars. We're just taking them random. It's not in the order. So click on the Q&A mode beside the public chat and put your questions in there, please.
So what is the process to bring a classic car from the US as an expat retiree?
Well, first of all, you need to have all the information of the car, model, year, size, weight, length, weight, all the minute details of the car, and the title, all the paperwork. And the car usually you have to ship it from Evergreen, Florida.
Yeah.
That's where they ships to Panama. Prices came basically here in Panama. They value your car. Your car can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars or can be worth $5,000. But it's the custom entity here to determine that value.
Yeah. Bring proof of as low a value as you can come up
Uh-huh.
with, just in case you get into a fight
So-
with customs.
So a classic probably will pay very low,
Yeah.
very low cost. If you wanted to bring that classic car as a retiree, uh, there is some deductibles you can get as a pensionado resident, but what you save is not much compared all the hassle you have to go through. You have to hire a lawyer to make sure to prove all the paperwork that you're pensionado to bring that car. So the easiest way to bring that car is just to make sure you have the right broker. We have a broker here in Panama that I have used in the past to bring vehicles like that. Uh, so you can send us those details if you're interested to bring this car. If it's a classic, I totally support it because I'm a huge fan of classic cars. Mr. William. So I would love to know what kind of classic car it
Yeah.
is.
We're not going to give you quotes here in duties
No.
and taxes, but the average is between 22 and 28% is what you're going to pay in duties and taxes to import a car to Panama. If you are a pensionado going under that program, you're going to pay 12%.
But the other part you pay more with just the lawyer and all that.
What's that?
What they save, the taxes you're paying with the lawyer.
Well,
And the time.
mostly people are getting residency here, right?
No, the lawyer. You have to hire an extra lawyer
Yeah.
to do that process.
Yeah, but you still don't think the pensionado brings you the car tax free. It's only
Yeah.
duty free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let us go.
There are a couple questions about driver's licenses. We're going to get into that after.
Yeah, we'll just leave those questions here.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a good question.
Can we buy a new car from a dealer before we move there? Will they hold it for us, or can someone pick it up for us?
Yes. Yes. And yes. Now,
That looks good, eh?
yeah. Yes, you can do it. All you need to do is someone here or you can approach the car dealership directly. The car dealerships usually depends of the car dealership. They have someone who speaks English. They will hold it for you, of course. They will because it's a dealership, so they have a lot of inventory. I will assume. If you want somebody to pick the car up for you, you probably will need. You're probably not. You will need to have a power attorney apostille from the states with the full information of the person who's going to do it for you, sign for you, and get the car for you.
Yeah, I know someone that came on one of our tours and they wanted a new car and they were ordering it and they were coordinating it based on the arrival of the car
Mhm.
because they were actually ordering a car through a Ford dealership in Panama City and the car wasn't going to come for a few months and then work around when they were coming. So
Mhm.
if you're dealing with a brand new car in a
Yeah.
dealership, don't they do everything for you, Oscar? Like you don't even
Pretty
know.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
you,
much.
You will find one of the salesmen, especially the guy
Yeah.
who's really go-getter, will speak English.
Uh-huh.
And you don't need everything we're talking about here. Not that we're trying to scare you. We've seen too many people get in trouble. You don't have to worry about titles. You
No.
don't have to worry about
No, because they do
insurance.
it for
They're
you.
gonna Get it for you.
They do it for you, and they ask you like which city you want to be registered, and you decide. Depending if you are living in the Panama West, Panama City, Cherokee, Los Santos, I can give you some suggestions where should get registered, where should not get registered vehicle.
Yeah. Well, this is Colleen. Colleen, you can get a hold of Oscar, and if you guys
Yeah.
want to order something before you come here, he knows most of the dealerships in Debbie.
Yeah.
He can
Name the brand, and we'll definitely will assist you on that one, Colleen. I'll give you more
Yeah, the
detail.
benefit of going with Oscar is that you can cut out some of that.
It will be faster.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get through all these questions. We're going to get to the driver's licenses. Dealership financing on friendly nations or pensionado.
No, so the financing goes through a bank, and the banks, in order to finance anything, you have to be under payroll, meaning you have to be paying Social Security for over 2 years.
Panama Social Security.
On Panama Social Security. So there is no financing on any. If you're not under payroll, yeah, no, no possible.
There are some private lenders that might loan you some money on car, ridiculous interest rates,
Yeah.
30 to 50% down.
Yeah.
Your credit rating has no effect on you here in Panama. They don't use credit scores here like the U.S. does, so they can't even check on you. You're a foreigner. You can leave at any time. They really aren't interested.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
One motorcycles, pretty similar.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. Very similar. It is not the same.
This is a good question. This is not something everyone in North America would expect to have cruise control in their car. No one has it here. Why
No.
is that, Oscar?
Because the cruise control only comes in vehicles that they call full extras, meaning
Uh-huh.
American version. That's all the some luxury.
Have you heard of anyone adding a after factory market cruise control? Do you
No.
know of any?
No.
Okay.
Never.
Interesting. There's really not in Panama really any. It's not like driving in the highway in the prairies in North America where
No.
you go for 9 hours with straight.
There is vehicles. I mean, you can find Prados, you can find a lot of Toyotas, the full extras with the cruise control, but usually car rentals don't have those versions.
If you want a friendly nation visa, but it's H2B jubilado, that's reduced tax burden.
No, Friendly Nations visa doesn't have an option for import a vehicle at all. Only
No.
a pensionado visa.
Pensionado, yeah.
But like I said, it's not a huge savings.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to pay 12% with the pensionado
Yeah.
because that's the taxes. And the duties are like 10. So, really, yeah. Okay. The system's working. Let's see.
That's a good question.
Oh, can you get a Panama bank without a permanent visa? You need to be in the process of getting your residency to open a Panama bank.
Yes.
You cannot open a Panama bank from the US or Canada. You have to be in person here to open a Panama bank. Some lawyers will tell you that, oh, we can have it open. And then at the end, after you've given them $500, this happened to somebody today. I couldn't believe it. The lawyer said they would help them. They charged them $500. Where's my bank account? It'll be open the day you arrive, is what they said to them. Because you have to be in Panama to sign in front of the bank people.
But
Yeah.
you don't have to have your residency to buy a vehicle here.
No, yeah, exactly. You can own a vehicle as a foreigner, right?
You can own a
So you
vehicle as a
can,
foreigner.
but not all sellers will accept an international wire.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
some sellers, especially the corporations, will charge you an extra 7%. Is it, Oscar?
Yes.
They'll
Most
charge
of
you
the
the
sales
sales tax.
taxes include 7%. Some of dealerships and used vehicles will be more, let's put it, flexible in the negotiation part.
Yeah, there's a ITBMS tax, which is like a state tax, but it's countrywide in Panama. And on used vehicles, if the money comes from a foreign source, they're supposed to charge on it.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why you shouldn't wire money from a foreign source to buy a vehicle.
Yeah, only if it's from the proper official dealership.
When you apply for a Panama driver's license, okay, we will do driver's licenses right in a second, folks. I got to get back to the chat.
I can see behind you.
People
Actually,
are putting
Billy's-
process to bring a classic car. Coming dealership financing. Can we answer that one? Any more questions? Please put them in the Q&A.
We can also circle back after driver's licenses if any other questions are still.
Perhaps drawing the curtain. What are the requirements to finance a vehicle? Yeah. Not going to happen with the process to print classic cars. We did that. Don't. Yeah, once you're here for a couple years or so and have some history and some bank history, I know some people who have financed a vehicle through their bank. Big down payment. Short terms, but it could be done. Panama's driver's license. Anything we missed? Opinion, diesel. Diesel, that's a good question. A lot more diesels here, Oscar. So they're asking diesels or gasoline engines.
Well, it depends on what kind of car you want and what you want it for.
Mhm.
I'll tell you. Because diesel is less expensive They go longer, the engines. But if you're looking for power, maybe you want a gasoline.
The diesel fuel is less expensive
The
here,
diesel fuel is expensive.
not the vehicle.
Yes.
Mhm. So what's the price of fuel here in Panama, Oscar?
Right now is if you are no like an owner of the vehicle,
Okay.
and then you have the document, the vehicle is on road. It's only $3.22 the gallon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we have one of the lowest prices of gas in the world of non-OPEC countries. I was
Yeah.
looking at that today, which is pretty good. Mhm.
Yep.
Oscar, can you buy a car with a credit card?
Yes, you can.
You've had some people that will accept that?
Yep.
Are they going to charge you 3% on top?
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to pay that. So if you're willing to pay,
$20,000 car, or 600.
and plus the 7% tax,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then you have to
and
pay.
then
the
you have to
tax.
pay the tax.
So it's going to cost you 10% to put it on your credit card.
Sorry.
Okay, this is a question that didn't come through as a question. Don't know why. If you have a U.S. and Panama account, I should wire the money to your Panama bank account prior to paying for the car. Yes, good choice. Get the money in your Panama account, then you can just transfer it same day over to the seller.
Yeah, it takes only less than 15 minutes.
Okay.
The transaction.
So I think the last one. Here we go. Oh yeah, I just answered that one. It is a question. I apologize. I didn't see it there. Driver's license questions. I'm going to leave those open. We are going to shut down this Q&A now. We're going to answer. Megan's going to talk a little bit about driver's licenses, and then we're going to come right back to the Q&A, answer the driver's license ones. If anyone has more vehicle purchasing ones, please put them in. We had promised to only keep you guys an hour, and it is 15 minutes left. So I'm just going to open up this and go here, and let's talk about driver's licenses.
Beautiful. So first thing to know is at what point do you need to have a Panama driver's license? If you're here on a tourist visa, you can only drive for 90 days. But as soon as you apply for residency at the immigration office here and get your temporary residency card, your foreign driver's license is no longer valid. So you may hear some people suggest, even your lawyer might suggest, that you just wait to get your permanent residency card within the next 6 months, and during that time just continue driving on your foreign driver's license and showing your passport. But you can get in a lot of trouble with that.
Really bad advice.
Yeah, really bad advice.
Yeah. If you do get caught, you'll have your vehicle towed and you'll get a fine, which can be really costly. So it's best to do it the legal way. Get your driver's license as soon as you have your temporary card. Yes, it will expire in 6 months and you'll need to go get it renewed, but you won't have to go through the entire process again. You can just go get your new driver's license card, and it'll be good for 4 years. On your temporary card, it'll only be good for 6 months. You'll go get it once you get your permanent card. So there are anything, I'm just going to check my notes, make sure I don't miss anything. Yes, exactly. So there are 2 ways to get your driver's license in Panama. The first one is to go through your embassy. If your embassy is in Panama, like US, Canada, a lot of European embassies here too, then you can go there and get your foreign driver's license authenticated. This is easier at some embassies than others. Like the Canadian one, you can just walk in, a lot of European ones as well. US, it is more difficult currently to get an appointment. I just checked this morning and they actually don't have any appointments open right now. All the appointments through the first 2 weeks of August are full, and then they haven't opened up past that yet. So you'll want to look in advance if you want to get an appointment at the US Embassy to get your driver's license authenticated there. And try and line it up with whenever you're applying for your temporary residency card. So you would have to be in Panama City for that. So that's something to think about if you are living in Boquete. You have to plan a whole trip, and that will take a couple days.
Yeah. That takes a little
So
bit.
after the embassy, doesn't Panama get involved with their foreign affairs too? Don't they want to see it?
Yeah, so you go to the
Oh.
embassy, get your authentication, then from there, take that paperwork over to the Foreign Affairs Office, which is in a different area of Panama City in Casco Viejo. They want to notarize it as well, stamp it, and they want you to go leave the Foreign Affairs Office, make a deposit for Foreign Affairs in a national bank, then take that deposit slip. It's only like $2. Take that deposit slip, bring it back to the Foreign Affairs Office. This office is only functioning in Spanish, so you would likely want to have somebody with you to walk you through the process there, or else.
Then why do they call it foreign affairs? Okay.
It's a foreign affairs, but it services in all.
Okay, so it's done. You have your driver's license.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, now you're ready to go to Sertresen office, which is basically Panama's DMV. You take all of that paperwork there, and if you are of jubilado age, then you can just go right in without an appointment. If you're under 57 as a female or 62 as a male, then you'll need to make an appointment first. I don't know, it could be 55, 60 in other offices, or if you have a pensionado visa, it could be that they let you go in other offices. In David, they don't. They only go by the jubilado rule, which is a Panamanian when they're retired. That's 57 as a woman, 62 as a male. That's when they can start receiving.
Or if
Social
you have
Security.
enough grace, they will let you in.
But Megan, if you
It's
go
cultural.
this embassy route, you don't have to write the driver's test. You don't have to do the driving test, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit, that you don't have to do the driving test or the written test through this route.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more steps, especially if you don't live in Panama City. But you don't have to do the written or driving test. When you go in with that paperwork, all you have to do is a hearing and visual test, and you pay your $40. Also, before you go in, you'll need a blood type test if it's not on your foreign driver's license, because they do put that on your driver's license here. And if you're over 70, you'll need a doctor's clearance from a Sertresen approved doctor to say that you're capable of driving and having a driver's license here. And then you pay $40 and get your driver's license.
Oh, one thing about the driver license. What type of driver license usually they'll give you here in Panama? Because we have the A, B, C, D, E,
No.
E2, F. So which one is the most?
So most people would just go for C.
Which is a regular vehicle in small SUVs.
They'll give you a B. I know when I did my authentication, I got my B, which is motorcycle,
Yeah.
got transferred over from my existing one.
Because
You have to get your license translated into Spanish
yes.
before you get it.
But you had that permit
Yeah.
from Canada,
Yeah,
Canada Embassy.
that's right.
That was in the old times.
Yeah.
So if you want to drive anything bigger than an SUV, let's say a van, 16 passenger, you need to get a driver license D.
So then you're gonna have to go take the schooling and testing.
Take a schooling test and testing, and also do a psychotropic test as well, a blood type.
You know,
Most expats wouldn't have any use for that.
we've now all done the driving school and test, and it's really not that bad.
No.
I had to do it for an upgrade so I could drive the big van when Oscar decides to go on holidays. And Megan recently did hers that way because she couldn't get an appointment at your embassy.
I know most expats do think, oh, I just get my license authenticated and get my driver's license. That's the easy way.
Yeah.
But once I started looking into it, living in Boquete, actually the second way, which we're going to get into, it was the easiest way for both of us.
And the cheapest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, because we could do it right here in David, no need to go to Panama City. So if you choose to do it that way, which is the old-fashioned way, the same way Panamanians get their driver's license, you will need to go first to a driving school and get a certificate that you went through the driving school, and you can go get your license or do the driving test. Some schools will make you go to a class. Most of them do not. You just pay $60. It was for me, or it could
Yeah.
be 60 to 70, 75 is typically what you'll pay. And they will give you the study materials, which is 133 multiple choice questions. And you can take the test in English. So they'll give you the study materials in English. You study that. Within 2 weeks, your certificate will come into the driving school, and you can pick that up, and then you can go in for your test. And you'll need the blood type test, and also doctor's note if you're over 70, and if you're under 57 as a woman, under 62 as a man, then you will need to make an appointment. If not, then you can just go right in with all of that information, with your residency card, your passport, you're all studied up, and your blood test, and you'll do the hearing and visual that everyone has to do. Then you will get 10 of the multiple choice questions randomly picked on the computer in English, and you have 1 minute to answer each question. You need to get 7 of the 10 correct to pass that. Then the driving test it's really just a parking test. You pull into a parking spot forward, you back in backwards, and you parallel park.
Without touching the cones.
Without touching the cones.
Don't touch the damn cones.
Even when you're pulling out, don't touch them.
Don't touch them.
And
Don't touch them.
if you pass all of those, then you're good to go. $40, print out your.
I think Rob touched the cones. So
I
he was
did not. I passed first
You
time.
didn't touch the cones like it twice.
Okay. So those were all the big points. Your international driver's license, we get this question from veterans a lot. They have an international driver's license, which is basically your driver's license translated into many different languages. Panama does not recognize that, so you can't use that.
Yeah, we were
here.
never part of that treaty back in the 50s. So,
Mhm.
yeah. So, face the fact that your foreign driver's license ends the day you receive your temporary residency card, and take action. Get your license. Like, don't wait till you get your permanent and said I just won't drive, because it's to upgrade to get your because your temporary license will expire when your temporary visa does. It's a 30-minute event. You go in and they give them the paperwork, and you take a new picture, you get a new card, and you leave.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
And it's worth not driving around those 6 months nervous that you're going to get
I have
pulled over.
known the cost is about $500. I know somebody in a rent-a-car that got caught, and their total charges were almost $1,000, because the rent-a-car charges all their fees because they lost a car for like days in an impound.
That is one more thing with when you do the test, you have to have your own vehicle. But the driving school also rents out vehicles that you can use for
That's very
like
convenient.
$10, $15.
Yeah, and you're allowed to drive there without your license.
That's very convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, only for your 3 parking
Okay.
maneuvers.
Now let's see what questions we'll give you guys a slideshow, and I'm going to give you a contact information to us so you can get more information on this stuff. Q&A mode, show Q&A list. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, that one's still in there. I thought I deleted those.
That's not, I think they're
I'm
doing
okay.
down
There is
further.
one de Bocas del Toro, something.
Okay.
That's a
License.
good question for Canadians.
Yeah.
I'd understood that Canadians did not have to go to PC personally to get their license.
No, it can all be done by courier, and then when you want it picked up, you assign somebody, and you just get them their cedula and contact information, and they can take it to Foreign Affairs for you, and then you can have it courier all the way back to Boquete or wherever you are. So every embassy is different. I have someone going through in Spain right now with the Spain consulate. They said they'll do it, but I'm sure it's a different procedure. So,
But it is easier for Canadians. But you will have to hire someone to pick up that paperwork at the Canadian consulate or embassy.
yeah, you
and
don't
take
want
it
it to
to
come
Foreign
all the way back to
Affairs.
Boquete without it going to Foreign Affairs first.
And then they can ship it out for you.
Yeah.
And we do have some contacts for that.
Okay. Driving
Does
quads.
one need a license driving a quad?
You need a
Yes.
license for driving a bicycle. That's the
Yes.
A on your license.
So for driving in a squad is the license B, meaning motorcycle.
And that's even a golf cart on the streets.
No, the golf cars don't. But golf cars don't meant to be a street.
Yeah, I know that. But if you have a plated golf cart.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to how much lead time. Okay.
Yeah, any other driver's license questions?
It
Did
might
we
be in
cover it
the
all
public
for
chat.
you?
I'm sorry, I'm having some flipping. Well, not flipping, you know what I mean. Okay. Who's got other questions?
I saw something about
What did we
bokeh.
miss?
I just saw a question about something bokehs in the past.
Oh.
Somewhere.
I'm
All the
going
way
to try to
up.
stretch
might
this
have
out
been
a
in
little
Q&A
bit
mode.
here.
I have to do it there.
What?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get.
How I can scroll down. There's a few more coming in.
Yeah, sometimes the questions. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a good question. Very good question.
Do you have to give up your
Okay,
foreign
why is that
driver's
not in
license?
Q&A?
You can publish. Just publish.
Oh, there we go. This is a very good question. No, you
Mhm.
keep your license.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. Like a lot of people that live here part-time don't get their license, but there's no reason why they shouldn't. Because they can, they're both, usually your license is at home is good for 3 to 10 years, depending what
Yeah.
state you're in. Here it's good for 4 years.
Yeah, I haven't given up my Colombian.
No, I still have my Canadian driver's license, although it expired years ago.
I can drive a semi truck in Colombia if I want.
Okay, there we go. Okay, now they're all here. How much does Oscar charge to find a car, inspect, and register it? We can do that. Gail, I am popping in. Every situation is different. There's going to be a little questionnaire to fill out. When you want to get done. What budget do you work with, Oscar, when you buy people cars? Is there a minimum they have to spend, or
It all depends of the brand and the year, because I only suggest to get something no more than 10 years in order to get a great vehicle. Because sometimes if you're in the really low budget, it's a troublemaker. To find a car that is gonna be old, it's gonna come with a lot of issues. So it will be more sometimes like a project. So the car is hard. So I suggest to get a vehicle if you have a budget over 12 grand, you can find something in decent condition. Even
But you
if
can
it's
still get full coverage. on.
exactly, even if it's a Suzuki Vitara. Suzuki Vitara you can get it for 12 grand, and you can still get like a 2014, 2015 with that budget.
But mostly, I mean, a lot of times he ends up going to Panama City for these jobs because
Mhm.
there's just way more options there for lightly used vehicles.
Yeah.
If you're looking at something in David and just want some translation and mechanical opinions, you
That
can
also,
also do an hourly rate on something like that.
yes.
Mhm.
So there's some variations, and don't take me wrong, you can still find a decent vehicle that is a little older, and because hey, there is people they have take great care of the vehicle, and maybe it's over 10 years old and the car is great, but you have to know what is gonna be to buying an older vehicle.
You can buy older vehicles here. I bought an older vehicle, so is Oscar.
Yeah.
But you don't need someone like Oscar to source because your risk is lower when you're spending $6,000 on a vehicle. You might need some assistance in getting the title transfer, stuff like that. Yeah, if you don't speak Spanish or you don't know the system the first time.
Or
that-
even if you
that
just
we can certainly help you with, but unless you have a budget of 10, 12,000 plus, using someone to actually, because the dealerships Oscar uses don't sell cars less than that.
yeah.
Like they typically won't have, because they basically they're not going to sell Oscar something junk because they sell them a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to let me know. Okay, hey Oscar, I found out this great Jeep Cherokee 1994, and then say, well, I can come look it up, because if you have no knowledge, I can look it up. But just the principle, like has oil leaks, has the four-wheel drive is working,
Mhm.
what is the interior, there is the things that I can look it up and make sure at least you have a second opinion.
Yeah.
Or direct you to the right mechanic.
Yeah. This question is from. How do you know who it's from?
You see, their
Oh.
whole name isn't in there.
Oh, okay. How much to have someone take it from? The last quote someone quoted me was $75. That included they paid for the courier to out of that money they shipped it back to Boquete. So if anyone, I just popped in the chat, the bottom of the chat, our website. There are contact forms there for both government IDs, driver's licenses, and to reach Oscar directly. Please use that.
We'll be
So
sending out
that
information after this call too.
Yeah, and it'll be on their recap that you get.
Yeah, feel free to send us any email.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's any more questions, we'll be so happy to answer.
Yeah, we like to connect everyone because we got people and David and Panama City. If you start in one area, register the car there, but then move to another. There's a good one, Oscar.
You have to go back to the original area to renew. It would be the title, but to do a revisado and renew the title.
The revisado you can do anywhere. They are certified to do revisado. The title, if you want to do the the annually taxes of the vehicle, that's on the title. It has to be on the whatever's registered the car. It's every year. You have to do it during the month it is due. So if your car the place says July, is on July, you have to do it. No before nor after. It's during that month. It's a little bit of the process. There is facilitators that do that work. Me personally, I have 3 vehicles. All 3 vehicles are registered in Panama City. But I have a lot of things going on, so I'm very busy.
Yeah, you go there a lot.
So I don't have to register the vehicle anywhere else. Why? Because in Panama City, it's so easy to do title transfer. It's the most friendly place to do it. So, and I'll tell you, which is the place you do not do it. By any circumstance, you do not do it. But the Panama City is one of the best places because there is actually people.
Tell them where not to have it registered.
David, do not ever, for no circumstances, for the love of a baby Jesus, do not register a vehicle in David.
Some offices are much more efficient than others.
Yes,
so
Tolega is great.
City is a really easy
It's the
place
easiest,
to have it registered.
Chitre is also easy. It's also nice.
David is not.
David?
That's your point across.
David, no.
Oscar's
No,
had some
David.
instances with the.
No,
The thing
David.
is-
We're
the
moving
thing is,
on.
You don't have
Thank
to
you,
go.
Val.
You don't have to go in person yourself. I think is
Yeah.
what we want to get across. There are facilitators that do it for a very fair rate, where you just send your paperwork to them, and they will give you your sticker for the next year.
No, but it's just in David. This is the funny thing.
We're way over time, guys. We got questions.
Okay.
David, don't go to David.
Okay, I got the
always
message,
laugh 'cause
but
Oscar-
I'll tell you more about it.
Bruce, great question here. If you guys want a full explanation on the process, I know we went through it and it might have been a little quick. It's also on the Retiring Panama Tours blog under getting a driver's license. So the process, if you have your appointment, congratulations. You need to get a hold of the Panama, oh my God, Foreign Affairs Department and get an appointment for 2 weeks, like about 2 weeks before. 2 weeks before your embassy appointment. You want an appointment at the Foreign Affairs for the same day. And if you don't speak Spanish, you're going to have to get someone to do that for you and take you there. It's kind of a gong show there. But at that point, you can leave Panama City if you don't live there. You can take that paperwork to David, Santiago, where are the other ones? Panoname, I think has a circus thing.
Panama, Santiago, Chitre.
Most of the capitals.
Most of the capitals.
Provinces.
So just embassy and foreign affairs stamp. You need to get those 2 things done. If you're from Panama City or live in Coronado, just go to Circus in Panama City and get the driver's license. the
Yeah.
same day. If you coordinate it with a morning U.S. Embassy appointment, you can get the whole thing done in 1 day.
All right.
Everyone who signed up for this will get an email in the morning with a recap and with the links I've been talking about with the direct connections to us for if you need assistance in buying a car or getting a driver's license or contact people in different communities. And also with the direct step-by-step link. Hey, you brave people that are practicing your Spanish, you could
Did
do
we
it.
answer this one?
No, I'm going through the last ones of the car buying Oscar.
Hey, Kevin
This
and
is Kevin and
Tatiana.
Tatiana. Hey,
We'll see you
aren't we
guys
going to
this
see
week.
you in a couple days?
Nice.
If we were to move to Bocas del Toro, would you recommend we buy a car, or is it not needed there?
I will say it depends where you're gonna be living in Bocas, but it is nice to have a car in Bocas. Get the car, and the best deal you can get it from probably Panama City. Keep it registered in Panama City, so easy sell and transfer. And then you drive it all the way to Almirante. You transfer all the what is it called, ferry, and get a 4-wheel drive.
If
high
you're going
quality.
to live on the main
If
island
you want
because
to
it's
be,
larger, honestly, it would make more sense to me to have a boat in Bocas.
Yes.
If you live on one of the small islands, there's no ferries. You got to put the thing on a barge to get it over
If
there.
you
True.
live on a small island, you definitely
Yeah,
have a boat.
it is a convenient thing. It's more like a convenience,
Not
but
a
it's not a
necessity.
necessity. You can go even get a bicycle, get a taxi.
Yeah, well, if
Yeah.
you're going to live downtown Bocas, no. But if you're going to live somewhere along the beach somewhere that you're 5 kilometers from town, it's pretty hard to walk.
On the other
Yeah.
side of the main island,
Yeah.
sure.
It depends what
It
kind of
really
lifestyle
depends.
you want to have,
Yeah.
but definitely you need to get a 4-wheel drive.
And
Yes.
last 2 questions, guys. Driving school in Boquete? No.
Nope.
The closest is David, where
David.
there's several. My favorite is New Vision Driving School in Spanish. How do you say it in Spanish?
Nueva
Then
Visión.
why can we ask register in Boquete? Yes, you can.
Yeah, if you're buying a new vehicle, it doesn't matter. You don't have to go to Panama City.
Yeah, you can register in Boquete, and Boquete is very
Yeah.
friendly to do any paperwork.
Why Oscar talks about used vehicles in Panama City? There are 4 million people, folks, in Panama.
Yeah.
2 million live in greater Panama City.
Yep.
So that means half of the cars for sale are in that area.
Yep.
So if you go to David, you're going to find 10% of, let's say you're looking for a Ford Explorer. You're going to find 1 for every 10 that there are in Panama City. So
Yeah,
you just
it's
gotta
gonna
get
be
a better
not the
deal.
best price.
But
Or
we
the-
do have a lot of dealerships there. if
Yes,
you're
we
looking
do.
to buy new.
There is a lot of dealerships in David. Yes.
We're excited to meet you, Kevin and Tiziana. Kevin and Tiziana are on our tour this week that starts Thursday. So it is
Hey.
exciting. You guys forgot what we actually do for a living, huh? When we do tours. Yeah. I've almost forgot. This has been fun tonight, guys. I thank you. There's like a
Thank
little
you,
more than I
everybody.
expected show up. I really hope all the questions got answered. If not, again, if you notice in the bottom of the chat, I will again type in the Panama Expat website where you can put questions regarding what we talked about today. Boom. There we go. And all of you guys that register for this will receive an email tomorrow with an update and with all the links for contact. But it was great having you guys with us tonight on our first special Q&A. In 1 month, we're doing one on moving your pets to Panama.
Yay!
And a general Q&A in 2 weeks.
Yes.
So we'll see you all
Okay.
soon.
All right.
See everybody.
Thanks for
Thank you so
joining
much for
us.
your time.
Everyone. Talk soon.